The 14th General Council of the Church, the Second Council of Lyons. On the 1st of September 1271 AD, the assembled cardinals casted their votes for Theobaldo Visconti, who took the name Gregory X. This pope was a saint. He was beatified by Pope Benedict XIV in 1740 AD. It would fall to Gregory X to call the Second General Council of Lyons. The new pope was not even a cardinal at the time of his election. He was in Syria leading a crusade to free the Holy Land when he received the news of his election. When he accepted the tiara, he made it clear that he was not interested in the political intrigues of Italy and Sicily. His only concern was the East, the Greeks, and the freedom of the Holy Land. The immediate problem Gregory faced was the Greek Church. Ever since Pope Leo excommunicated Michael Serralus, the Patriarch of Constantinople, in 1054 AD, the Greeks began to separate themselves from the Roman Church. As centuries passed, there were attempts to reunification. Fourteenth, the Archbishop of the imperial city, as early as 867 AD, had accused the Roman Church of heresy for adding filioque, that is, the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son, and for demanding celibacy from priests. During the time of Pope Innocent III, there was an attempt to force the Greeks to unite with Rome. This happened when the Latin See of Jerusalem was established. The Pope, knowing the disastrous consequences of division, sent legates to the court of Michael, promising unification to the Greek Church with Rome. In 1273 AD, the legates from Constantinople returned. They brought the glad news that the emperor wholeheartedly supported the idea of the Pope for unification. In his letter, the emperor called himself the most faithful and obedient son of the Pope, calling him the successor of Peter and the sovereign lord of the whole church. Immediately, Gregory announced his plan for a general council. He wrote to the emperor to be present at the council, which will be held at Lyons in the month of April 1274 AD. The saintly Pope had not only the reunification of the Greeks in sight, as he sent out to call the Council of Lyons, he saw with sorrow the degradation of Christian life, especially among the clergy. He asked the bishops of the world to prepare remedial measures for rekindling faith and morals in the church. Each bishop was asked to speak out at the council a particular problem that would require to be solved. By the end of April 1273 AD, bishops began to gather at Lyons, but the council officially opened on the 7th of May 1274 AD. There were 500 bishops and an equal number of abbots and superiors of congregations. On the opening day, the Pope addressed the assembly. He outlined the following problems. First, the reunification of the Greeks. The second, the problem of the Holy Land. And the third one, the need of reformation of morals in the church, especially in the lives of the clergy and the bishops. Then he named 3 bishops who were present in the council. Because of their scandalous life, they were deposed. He warned the bishops that if they did not amend their ways, similar punishments would follow. As the proceedings of the council were going on, the Greek delegation from Constantinople arrived on the 24th of June. Germanus, the bishop of Nicaea, led the bishops and the legates of the emperor. Then the council took up the case of unification of the Greeks. A profession of faith in which the filioque was stressed was read and accepted by all the bishops, including the Greeks. Then the Pope openly admitted the Greeks into the Roman fold, and all censures were removed. It was on the 6th of July 1274 AD that the reunification was made. The profession of faith that was read and updated by all the bishops was the following. We profess the Holy Spirit proceeds eternally from the Father and the Son, not as from two principles, but as from one principle, not as from two aspirations, but as from a single aspiration. This is what the Holy Roman Church, the mother and the teacher of all faithful, hitherto professed, preached and taught. This is what it holds, preaches, professes, and teaches. After this formula of faith, the doctrine about purgatory, Holy Eucharist, marriage, and the supreme authority of the Pope were read. The second canon was about papal elections. The Pope expressed his sorrow in the delay of electing a new Pope, especially after the death of Innocent IV. The Pope praised the works of the Dominicans and the Franciscans. These orders were exempted from the authority of the bishops. The final meeting of the council was on the 17th of July 1274 AD. Soon after, the bishops returned home. A year later, Pope Gregory II began his journey to Rome. However, he never reached the Eternal City. On the 10th of January 1276 AD, the Pope died at Arezzo. He was 71 years old.